Lands and Natural Resources Minister John Peter Amewu is partly blaming mines inspectors in the regions for being responsible for the increase in galamsey activities. Addressing journalists on the expiration of the 21-day ultimatum to all illegal miners to halt the activities Wednesday night, the sector minister said the inspectors are sleeping on the job as no proper checks or inspections had been carried out at the small-scale mining sites over the years by the Inspectorate Division. Joy News' Matilda Wamega has more.
On most of the sites visited, it appeared the illegal miners had the wind of the minister's visit and so bolted, leaving behind their tools and equipment. An inspector of mines at the Minerals Commission, Joseph Frimpong, explained how he got to know about some illegal operations located at Kobreso.
When we have the case where somebody just jumped in here, as we can see, nobody has issued any license here or a permit here for them to work.
You're supposed to work for the commission and you live within the area. You pass here every day. This is not your first time maybe you've seen this activity. These things have been ongoing. Have you made any attempt of coming closer to this guy and tell them, look, my friend, you've not been given a license?
Yes, that one we will, like you said, if I have had the chance to pass here, it's not an area, this is the road that we don't normally pass. If this place is very close to the road, if we have had a chance of passing here, we would have come to stop. Now that all of us as a nation have seen, I would have even employed you, the pressman, to also be our informant. I tell you.
But we are not here with you. You know that this particular area, for this site alone, they do not have the license to operate. So what exactly is stopping you working here?
I tell you honestly that if I had been here, if I had passed here, this equipment, I would have asked that it be removed.
But I'm asking, what is stopping you from coming here?
You mean now?
Yes.
Well, before, not that I don't come here, but I do go to other areas. And what I am saying, if I have had a chance to pass here.
The Minister, John Peter Amewu, blamed the Minerals Commission, particularly the Mines Inspectorate, for being responsible for the illegal mining activities across the country. Mr. Amewu indicated that no proper checks or inspections had been carried out at the small-scale mining sites over the years by the Inspectorate, hence the increase in illegal activities. The minister intends to crack the whip on recalcitrant officers, particularly an inspector who was drunk at the time of our visit.
Well, Professor, I agree with you. You saw our district manager we met today, Yao. Where is Yao? Yao, this is the gentleman we met today, heavily drunk. And so how can such a person, be responsible for what we are doing? And we are asking that it should be immediately transferred back to Accra. If you put people like this to work, there's no way you can expect any accuracy in terms of monitoring. So I agree with you. The difficulty have to do with some of the people we have on the site.
He, however, outlined some measures to put in place to ensure mines inspectors effectively monitor mining sites.
In some of the sites, our engineers there are one person in an office, monitor almost about 34 areas of small scale, which is of course not possible. I have engaged my CEO and immediately we're going to procure motorbikes for some of these areas. We need at least a minimum of 4 people in some of the district offices. We're going to employ people as quickly as possible. The monitoring is key. One person cannot be responsible for a huge area like that. How can he do it?
The number of excavators that have been evacuated from the site had increased to over 500, with about 1,148 dredging machines equally withdrawn. According to the minister, about 200 of the excavators were seized from Dunkwao, 120 from Asankrigwa, 40 from Takwa, among others. John Peter Amewu says the development was encouraging and the fight will continue unabated. For Joy News, Matilda Wamega.
Meanwhile, Chief Executive of the Minerals Commission, Dr. Tony Obing, tells Joy News they will ensure that registered mining companies who own concessions reclaim lands that have been destroyed as a result of mining. As part of streamlining activities in the sector, the Commission, the mining firms he adds, will sign a reclamation bond.
Mining naturally entails digging or get into the belly of the earth. So you would see some mud that comes out. The key challenge is to rehabilitate, to bring the soil back, and then put topsoil and then replant it. That is proper mining. So what I see here I can see that there's been some leveling over here.
Exactly.
There's been some, which is an attempt. And if you see at the far end, if you see at the far, there's the compilation. I mean the piling of up of topsoil. So this topsoil will be spread on it.
So this is what we call the reclamation.
Yes, when it is done and you plant trees, they will come back. In fact, I have always said that if and in some countries that's what they do. So once you take the minerals, the land must be available for other things, because the land is not only for minerals, it's for mining as well. So the good thing is, if you do that, then bring the land back so that cocoa farmer can plant his cocoa. In our books, we don't know you. Okay. If you are not registered, if you are not, if you don't have the documents to mine, the license to mine, then we can come and follow up. Now, Minerals Commission can be blamed if there's a failure here. Minerals Commission can be blamed because...
So this particular site is in your books. Do I get that?
Yes,
understand?
Yes, if it is the name that they mentioned, that is because you will not carry all the mining site in your mind when you're coming. If that is the case, then we know who they are, and definitely we'll come to them to see what they are doing. They can't just leave. And it is also possible that since they are a large-scale mine in this sense, they would have to post reclamation bond. They have to post reclamation bond.
Right, so the Lands and Natural Resources Minister is talking about some successes and some progress made in trying to clamp down on the Galamsey operations. He talks about the mining, the illegal miners surrendering their tools and their excavators. We've sent our men onto the ground to find out if indeed work at these Galamsey sites have stopped. We have on the line Mohammed Nuruddin. He's been to some sites in the Ashanti region, and he joins us on the phone line. Hello, Nuruddin. Where have you been and what did you find?
I went to the Adansi area of Boasi and Native Warrants, and what I have found is that at Krokeri, we found out that some Galamsey operators were tight. They were operating and they were mining at that particular community. And at Obuasi, some of the illegal mining areas like Pomposo and Akaborisu, we saw some few people. We understand some few days ago, some of their excavators, they carried some of their excavators away. I mean, when we went there, we didn't see even one of the excavators. They've taken them away. But at Krokeri, there were illegal miners there, and they were actually on site.
All right, so at Krokeri, where you saw the illegal miners, were they aware of the 21-day ultimatum given by the Lands and Natural Resources Minister?
They were aware, and they are saying that where they are located, they don't see the need for the government to insist that they should leave because there's no any water body there, and they are not causing any damage to the environment. That is what they were telling us. Some of them are saying there is no job in that town, and so that is the only source of livelihood for them. And so they are rather appealing to the government to reconsider a decision to ban the activity. I mean, they have nothing doing. That was what they're saying. And so they are aware of the government decision to ban, but they think there's nothing for them to do in the town.
Were these miners at Krokeri also having excavators and those heavy machinery on their sites?
When we went there, for now, it is unclear because when we went there, we didn't see any excavator. They told us they don't use excavator and they are just doing their normal, work there. They have no excavator, but we would not be able to tell. I would not be able to tell whether it's because the government has decided to ban the activity, that's why they carried it away or not. But when we went there, actually, we didn't see any excavator there. We only saw women and men at the site.
All right, thank you very much, Mohammed Nuruddin. We now go over to the Western region where Francis Waja, he has been to Shanghai City at Wase Kropong, and he has joined me on the line to tell us what he's been able to find. Hello, Francis. What did you see there?
Yeah, hi, Israel. Good evening.
Good evening. What did you find at Wase Kropong?
Well, Israel, in Wasekropon, there's an area Israeli said called Shanghai City. Now, there's an area which previously was occupied by the elite in Wasekropon, which is about 3 hours and 30 minutes drive from Takrady. Now, when the Chinese got into this town, what they did was to occupy some of these houses in the areas, rented them. Some they took charge of the building themselves, renovated them, and this is where they live after they go for their mining activities and then return. They also operate lots of businesses in the area, i.e. equipment that are used for mining, other tools for mining and all. Now, they are very much aware of the ultimatum that has been given by the Lands and Natural Resources Minister, which is ending, I think, tomorrow. And so what has happened as of today is that most of these Chinese have closed their shops. So no business at all. And then literally that area, which used to be a predominantly Chinese-dominated area, is now empty. Their shops have been closed. Now, that is the effect of the closure of their shops. Now, some Ghanaians who rely on them, small-scale registered miners, say that, well, they can't get some of these equipment to buy because they rely on the Chinese to get these supplies. Again, there was a market day in Wasekropon. Some of the businesswomen complain that these Chinese are some of their best customers. So because they've left town, it was pretty difficult to get people patronize, especially pork and other poultry products. Israel.
All right, thank you very much, Francis Waja, bringing us up to speed with the situation in Shanghai City at Wasekropon, where he says that the exit of the Chinese is impacting on the local economy there. Now, in one other story, the payment of beneficiary allowances for the Youth Employment Agency has been suspended. This, according to the YEA, through a statement released Thursday, is because a common Excel verification exposed certain irregularities. The agency says it, among other things, found that there were instances where beneficiaries were using the same e-switch number. 3 beneficiaries were using the same e-switch number. The statement also indicates that there are nearly 3,000 names on the beneficiary payroll who do not work and yet draw allowances every month. The statement further noted that based on the findings, management of YEA has commissioned the internal audit agency to conduct a special audit into the operations of the agency. Its chief executive, Justin Kodia-Frimpong, says the move has become necessary in order to provide a platform for the new administration to take measures to prevent the scandals that rocked the agency in the past. Management, he says, is appealing to beneficiaries to remain calm as it works to complete the validation process. You're watching Joy News Prime. We're taking a break at this point, but still to come, residents of Nungua urge Railways Minister to take action against squatters encroaching on railway tracks in their community and the self-styled landlords illegally selling those lands to them. Stay tuned. Now to some politics now. The Kente South Constituency chapter of the Action Movement, a pro-National Democratic Congress group, is pushing for an early Congress to elect the party's national executives. The early Congress, the group says, would give the NDC ample time to adequately prepare to wrestle power from the governing New Patriotic Party in the 2020 general election. Addressing the media at Aflao on Wednesday, convener of the group, Godwin Henyo, blamed former President Mahama and his wife for the party's defeat in the 2016 general elections. Fred Kwame Asari's report.
The NDC suffered a crack within the party after its massive loss in the 2016 general elections to the MPP, with party members accusing each other of being responsible for the defeat. Some members blame the former president, John Dramani Mahama, while others believe members of the 2016 NDC campaign team's deliberate attempts to hoard monies allocated for campaign activities during the period contributed to their defeat at the polls. Recent to join in the accusation galore is the Kente South Action Movement chapter, blaming the immediate past first couple, former President Mahama and his wife, Lodina Mahama, for the party's unprecedented loss. Convener for the group, Godwin Henyo, alleges the former president's bad utterances to party elders and his wife's failure to organize a formidable NDC women front contributed to the party's defeat. He, however, admonished the NDC hierarchy to organize an early congress to enable the party start repairing cracks within, especially at the grassroots level.
We in the Kente South and the entire Volta region want to show our appreciation for the great work the Action Movement is doing for our party, the NDC. The Action Movement is saying exactly what sent us to a humiliating opposition. Our executives do not spread the campaign funds in the 2016 election. Instead, they kept them for themselves. Appointee takes all was what killed our party during JM's administration. Bad utterances from JM to nurses and to party elders. Gross disrespect to party elders and the grassroots was seen like fools who only knows how to work for the party. Family and friends groups took all our campaign resources. The women front was broken by Lodina, JM's wife. We thank the Action Movement for the great work they are doing. For the party from today, we will only work with the Action Movement in the entire Volta region. Because the Action Movement is talking for the grassroots, that was disrespect by the JM's administration. We are calling for early Congress. From today, we will only work with the Action Movement for Victory 2020 for the NDC.
A member of the group, Wilson Agbo-Mensah, reiterated that the neglect of the party's grassroots members, economic hardship, and high rate of unemployment made Ghanaians opt for the MPP during the 2016 general elections.
As for now, I will be very happy. This is just the beginning of what we are doing. If anything, I will be very happy we will communicate with you later.
So you don't have any evidence? For
having the evidence, what has happened, we can never disclose. That's what I say, maybe later, because what I'm trying to put across is what has happened is within our domain, is within the party. But what we are doing here, not against anybody, but what we are doing here, just we are bringing our grassroots on board.
Fred Kwame Asare's report for Joy News.
Some modest gains have been recorded in health delivery in the last 4 years, particularly with patients' access to doctors. Available figures indicate doctor-to-patient ratio stood at 1 to 8,300 in 2016, representing a 39% improvement over 2012 levels. Similar progress was made with a midwife and nurse-to-patient ratio, with a midwife presently taking care of 942 active reproductive women. Despite the gains, authorities say there are imbalances at the regional level as the issue engages the attention of experts at the ongoing review in Kumasi. Nane Aljuma reports.
In the Upper West region, for instance, one doctor is responsible for 30,000 patients. Other challenges to health delivery include poor conditions of ambulances and other vital equipment at the hospitals. Chief Director at the Ministry of Health, Dr. Afisa Zakaria, spoke to Live News at the opening of health sector assessment in Kumasi.
Our plan was to have 127 ambulance stations. We've been able to increase that to 133. Though the ambulances now are old and some have broken down, and others keep on going to the workshop, and also because by law, the thing was set up as a free service. And so once legally they are not supposed to charge, they render the services. And if they are not getting funds to run it as a free system, they will tend to ask for patients who want to use it to fuel it, which is a challenge. And we think we need to look at those areas and see how we will fund that one.
Dr. Zakaria is unhappy about the rate of maternal deaths despite huge investments in addressing the challenge over the years. She indicates more investments will be made in community health improvement services.
Every death is something we need to raise concern about. And for it to move from 145 there to 150 is something of concern. We still have neonatal mortality, and we also still going up. And then we have fresh stillbirths. People deliver, babies come out fresh and they are dead. So these are quality issues we're going to probe. Is it?
Asantehene Otumfo Osei-Tutu II renewed his call on government to complete the stored maternity block at the Komfo-Anokye Teaching Hospital. It follows a recent special documentary by Joy News' Seth Kwame Boateng highlighting the plight of mothers and babies due to inadequate space at the hospital. Otumfo's message was delivered by Mare Hene, Bafo Osei-Shiamai Brintu VI.
The result of the abandonment of this project, the hospital is busting at its seams from the most appalling overcrowding conditions imaginable. 4 babies are packed into single incubators. Babies and mothers are lying on the floors. Sanitary conditions cannot be maintained. So far, from being just the preventer of disease, the hospital risks becoming even
Nana Ojima reporting.
Issues of child marriage and teenage pregnancy have become foremost in the fight for equality for women in society. According to UNICEF's State of the World's Children Report 2016, 21% of Ghanaian girls are married off before their 18th birthday. Though a significant decline from previous years when it was as high as 39%, the statistic is still worrying. Kukwa PM has more in this report.
There has been heightened interest in recent years amongst all actors, including civil society organizations and government, to tackle the phenomenon of child marriage. And though recent data shows the practice is on the decline, 1 in 5 young women still get married before the age of 18. Speaking at the 23rd Zonta International District 18 Conference, First Lady Rebecca Akufo-Addo said although government has done a considerable amount of work in the area, there is still a lot more work to be done, and urged all women to join the fight.
Fought human trafficking in Nepal, campaigned against obstetric fistula in Ethiopia and Liberia, helped in reducing child marriage and supported women's full economic participation in Niger, awarded scholarships for women in science and business studies, and campaigned to stop violence against women. In Ghana, you have consistently awarded scholarships to girls from poor homes who excelled in science and maths, and I note with pride that these girls are now doctors, engineers, and researchers. You have also rehabilitated the Boston Institute for Girls, established reading clubs, and promoted safe motherhood. Again, an impressive record by Zonta Ghana. I'm truly impressed not only with your achievements in the past, but with your continued support for humanity, particularly women and girls. You could not have done all this without the massive membership of Zonta worldwide. 30,000 members in 66 countries, all working to improve the lives of women and girls. I congratulate Zonta International for this. Ayeko.
Zonta Conference Coordinator Opebia Omabo said the conference is a great avenue for stakeholders to discuss ways in which the practice and occurrence of teenage pregnancy and child marriage can be reduced and eventually stopped.
This is a time for us all to come together to make the voices of the different women represented in the different countries and under the different conditions to come together and to address their issues that pertain to their interests. So this is where this is a forum for us to come together as Zontians to address the issues. And like the speakers rightfully said, we should all be doers of the word. I mean, and spreaders of, spread the goodwill and act towards ensuring that it's not just coming to sit here to talk, and it's not just a platform to talk, but it is an organization like Zonta that is championing the cause and trying to improving the lives of women.
The conference brings together over 200 like-minded organizations from across the continent to push the fight against discriminatory practices against women.
Well, we're taking a break on Joy News Prime. Up ahead, after we have business news, after which we'll bring you some more stories. Welcome back to Joy News Prime. Now, as final year senior high school students across the country sit for the final West African Senior School Certificate Examination, it has emerged that some schools are demanding that they pay their third term fees or forfeit the exams. The students say the school heads claim that they are acting on a directive by the Ghana Education Service, even though the service has refuted this. The Ajina Senior High Technical School at Jamang in the Eastern region, defaulters have reportedly not been fed by the school since last Thursday. Some students also tell Joy News they were only allowed to sit for one of the papers 1 hour to the end of the exam.
Last Thursday, we were writing our English 1C paper to write, and the senior house mistress, together with the assistant headmaster, came to the school, and they said because we are owing fees, most of us are owing the fees, so they will not allow us to write. So when it was about 1 hour that people have started already, they asked us to enter because whatever that they will do is still pay the money. So when we entered, we couldn't even finish with the papers, and they said stop work. All that they know is that we should pay our full payment, and without full payment, we are not writing our paper. They didn't feel that since last week Thursday because they said the Form 1s and the Form 2s vacated on Wednesday. We the Form 3 started on the third term. That was Thursday. So no fees, no food.
The teacher I do communicate with. So I called the teacher and he told me they have given them a bill for the next term, academic term. I said, why? What is going on? Because last term we paid and we paid for registration and everything. So they have given us a bill to pay as a complete bill for the next academic term. But then if you can sign me a copy of the bill, so quickly forward it to me on WhatsApp. But it wasn't clear. Well, I didn't understand. I said, how? Because my ward is about to finish. At the next academic term, she will not be at the school anymore. What I know is other schools are paying. I have a friend, son at Presec, so they are paying. Someone called me, have a ward at Damascus, but the bill is different. Mine, I'm paying 700.
A similar situation has also been reported at the Fijai Senior High School in the Western region and the Presbyterian Boys Senior High School in Accra. But Public Relations Officer of the Ghana Education Service, Reverend Jonathan Bette, says all school heads preventing students from writing the exams will be sanctioned.
Final year students who are writing exams should not be deprived from writing. They should also pay their full term fee, also pay their feeding cost, but the full cost should not be collected from them. For example, taking the whole third term fee, whereas they will not be part of third term. Our heads of institutions are aware of the instruction that the Minister and the Director General gave them concerning writing of what they are to allow all of them right from beginning to the end, even if they are owing. So those who are depriving the candidate from writing the examination, that they have to desist.
Some workers of the Ghana Railway Corporation have been accused of selling off the land along the railway tracks to squatters who are building settlements there. Residents at Nungwa Barrier here in Accra say apart from the risks the squatters are exposed to, they are being a nuisance to the community. A visit to the area by Joy News Thursday morning revealed some of the structures are sited right along the tracks, breaching the 100 feet distance required by law. Maxwell Agbagba has more.
I'm from Belgium.
Oh.
I'm from Belgium.
Wow.
And when I was going to retire at 60.
When 70-year-old Franz Toops was nearing retirement 10 years ago, he decided to leave Belgium for Ghana purposely to relax and change his environment. What used to be a beautiful green zone behind his home has now been taken over by brownish corrugated roofing sheet 7 as a roof for about 200 makeshift structures housing squatters in this suburb referred to as Nungwa Barrier. Residents living in the community are complaining about the nuisance posed by the squatters.
Say I have my wall, and now the latest, let me say the small city that they built just behind my wall. It's maybe only 1 meter like this away from my wall. He said because of his services for the railway company, they offered him that piece of land and he is the owner. I said, oh, how is that possible? See, it can, in my opinion, I'm not a Ghanaian, but I think it cannot be possible. I cannot imagine that the railway company is giving away strategic ground.
Yeah.
Because they must be thinking not for today or tomorrow, but in 10, 20, 30 years when they are having very sophisticated railway system. Then they have to, I do not know how they are going to do that.
These shacks belonging to squatters living along this rail line started from 1, moved to 2 to 3. Now they are in their hundreds. Residents living in this community say they are posing serious discomfort to them. What is more worrying is that they have the tacit approval of some unscrupulous persons working for the Railway Company Limited. Another resident, Manasseh Oliver, corroborates the story about the sale of the lands by staff of the Railway Corporation.
They are the main people who are selling the place to the people, giving them a piece of paper that is a certificate from Railway. So, because of that, you see, it keeps times they will eat. Flooded. Yes, sometimes they will eat themselves and throw it inside my house. Loud music. Sometimes you hear them fighting. When they smoke, they are listening. You hear them fighting with knives. I'll kill you. I'll do this. 2 weeks ago, a guy came around claiming he's a chief. He said they should come to him, prepare a few money and then schnapp for him. They will stay here forever. So they also prepared those things and went to the guy. So this has kept on going on. Now they have a guy who lives here. They used to call him Red. He is the one railway people have been using him to sell the land for the people.
These shacks belong. Sule Salia has been accused as the middleman between the unscrupulous railway workers and the squatters.
Me, I will take you to court. Bet what they bear it in mind. Said I will take you to court. So when I want to hand mark, tell them to leave.
My face really see my face well.
I don't watch your face.
I not behave. I be thief.
You be thief. You be thief. You be thief. You be thief. Me, I be what?
In this video intercepted by Joy News, Sule Salia is seen with demarcating the boundaries of a piece of land he's offering one of his customers. The residents say he gives a piece of paper to the squatters as land title certificates. Another man who also claims to be a chief in the area is said to take money and drinks from the squatters with a promise to regularize their stay. Sule Salia has meanwhile denied giving out the lands and refers to a certain Patrick and Mr. Wuni as those rather giving out the lands.
No, the people, I don't know anybody will bring them, only the trainway people, where them to they go see them.
Okay, so all the people living here, they went to see the railway people?
Yeah, now they went for trainway.
Okay.
If you go see the manager, then he go tell you, so maybe come, maybe kiosk.
Yeah.
So put time for but at any time if you don't want to say they won't do something, you can feel remove them for them.
How much do you pay?
Oh, me, if I talk, I give them something they like.
But the other people with them, some people talk me say they paid 500 cedis, 400 cedis.
And that one they send and no be me my side. They be the trainway people. Be my demand.
So who really is in charge? Who are the one room right now? Who I forgot to see? Awuni. Who is he?
He did the trainway last stop, the bus stop there.
Okay.
Right now he be the manager for the railway from Tema.
Okay, where in office day?
The day Sakumono.
The day Sakumono.
Sakumono.
Okay.
That place, my office.
Okay. So I go see him. I go give me something. He go give me place, make I can't stay.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
If you go see them, or if you ask anybody where you did the kiosk inside from there to anywhere, if you ask, they go tell you.
Okay.
If them where did they go there, Sakumono, where they go see them.
Okay.
Where them to they go take somebody come.
Before they give you a place where you can stay. The phenomenon of people living along rail lines is common in Accra and beyond. But with a ministry solely dedicated to the development of the sector, we wait to see what will be done about the phenomenon. Reporting for Joy News, Maxwell Agbagba.
Before we bring you the headlines, Kente weavers at Bongre in the Ashanti region say they're looking forward to a manifestation of President Akufo-Addo's One District, One Factory promise in their trade to ease the challenges that confronts them. Key amongst their challenges is the rising cost of imported Kente yarn, which they say threatens the future of the enterprise and livelihood of the thousands of Ghanaians it employs. Labour firms Kwesi Debra visited the proverbial Kente town as President Akufo-Addo marked the first 100 days in office to engage the weavers.
Located in the Jusujabi municipality, Bongre, the birthplace of Asante Kente cloth, is 18 kilometers from Kumasi. It is arguably the largest producer of the traditional fabric in Ghana. Frank Sapon has been working at the Bongre Kente Weaving Center for over 20 years. He started this work soon after leaving junior high school. Frank has trained more than 20 people who are now plying their trade in other parts of the country. He is, however, worried about the rising cost of Kente cloth, a situation he blames on unavailability of yarns.
The
yarns are very expensive. It is usually imported, so the Kente is becoming expensive. If Nanado can set up a yarn factory, it will help boost sales. Between Force Kente Hene and now Pebo Ade Yeboah Santamre shares similar sentiments.
One problem we have at Bongre is the yarns that are used to make the Kente. We don't produce them here. We have to import them. And of late, some people are bringing them from China. As for the quality, we are not very sure. But would there be a source that will carry on coming? Will be coming all the time. That's the problem.
In the 2016 presidential elections, the NPP garnered 76.3% of the votes in the region, a 6% increase of 2012 figures. Frank says it was largely due to their belief in Nanado's One District, One Factory policy to rescue the business. We voted for Nanado because we thought since he loves Kente, he will quickly come here to set up a yarn factory.
Because Kente when him Kente, Nana you be over Kente pa, and Kente. So when him say
government has implemented some initiatives in the first 100 days. Though much is expected of government, Frank says Bongre has recorded massive sales in the first 100 days of Nanado.
NPP Bapawa, Yana, Omufra Kente.
When NPP comes into power, Kente sales go up. All of us have experienced it. Nana Yeboah Santamre and Frank believe it is too early to properly assess the president.
As a teacher, I don't mark scripts. I don't give marks when I've not read through the whole script. I've not experienced it. But this is a projection. I suspect that he can get through. So as of now, I give him 60%. Yeah.
They voted massively for Nanado Dankwa Akufo-Addo in the 2016 elections because they believed that when he comes around, he'll be able to turn things around. And of course, they have seen it in the first 100 days. But they would want to see more from the government. Perhaps a massive Kente factory won't be a bad idea. Reporting from Bongre in the Jusujabi municipality of the Ashanti region, Kwesi Debra.
Time now for a quick look at our top stories here on Joy News Prime. The Ghana Education Service is threatening sanctions as reports emerge of school administrators frustrating final year senior high school students writing their exams for non-payment of school fees. The Lands and Natural Resources Minister is blaming the failure of mines inspectors to do their jobs for the increase in illegal mining operations in Ghana and announces measures to get them to be more effective. Residents of Nungua are urging the Railways Minister to take action against squatters encroaching on railway tracks in their community and the self-styled landlords illegally selling those lands to them. In business, Ghana warned against non-compliance with recommendations in extractive industry transparency report. In order to help check the spread of defecation, I will take a quick break and we'll be back with the rest of our story. Stay tuned. The Kumasi City Mall has opened to the excitement of many. Business activities in the city are expected to pick up as it witnesses the opening of its first shopping mall. The Kumasi City Mall was opened to business on Thursday morning and hundreds of residents thronged the 18,500 square meter edifice to have a feel of facilities available. Prince Apia was there and our reports.
The official opening on Thursday saw some bits of fanfare to mark the unprecedented feat in Kumasi. Located at Asokwa in the heart of the city, Kumasi City Mall sits on a total land area of 15.4 acres. It provides a modern location for business transactions, social interaction and entertainment. Many residents throng to Asokwa, where it is located, to catch a glimpse of what exactly operations will be at the new mall.
For what I've seen, I think it's okay. It's very nice. But then, since most of the stands have not been taken yet, and we expect that the business people will also come in, and then the place will be lively. Because, you know, gone are the days you have to go to Accra, to go to West Hills, Machimota Mall and those, but now that we have a branch in Kumasi, there's no more need to go to Accra to see all those beautiful things, you know. Yeah, so it's a nice experience.
Actually, I'm feeling good here, and I think Kumasi, yes, you will be. Yes, you will be. It's not, I like everything about here. Here is very big. You can feel free here. Acting here is nice. Yeah.
I think this mall has come to stay, and you know it will probably keep Kumasi busy. People are used to the local markets, you know, getting their stuff, as in foodstuffs, restaurants. There is no even proper restaurant in Kumasi. And I think this will keep Kumasi busy. Yeah.
Does it bring any excitement to you?
Sure, it brings, because one, it's first of its kind in Kumasi, and then it's open to families. So it brings much excitement to
Board chairman of Kumasi City Mall, Kofi Sechere, is confident the facility offers relatively cheaper pricing to meet local demand.
Kumasi traditionally has been the commercial capital of the country. Obviously, the decision to start in Accra was an easy one. But having established in Kumasi, this is a new concept. Having established in Accra, Kumasi was the second obvious choice, being the commercial capital of the country.
Despite all the concerns, residents are already excited about the opening of the mall, though it is yet to become fully operational. Prince Apia reporting.
In order to help check the spread of diseases like diarrhea and cholera, the chief of Katui, a farming community in the Katsina-Nankana West District of the Upper East region, has set up a task force to sensitize the community members to put up latrines in their homes. Upper East correspondent Albert Torre visited the community and reports the measure is yielding positive results.
Ketiu, a large rural community with homes far apart from each other and lots of free, open lands. The nature of the settlement made open defecation a normal practice in past years. But after the Rural Initiatives for Self-Empowerment, RISE Ghana, implemented a behavior change program aimed at ending open defecation in this community, the people decided it was time to change. As Bafao Togwe, a community member here at Ketiu, puts it, the education they were given simply made them realize that defecating in the open meant that they would be consuming their own excreta in the long run.
We used to defecate everywhere in the open, and that meant that animals, houseflies, could go and sit on the feces and bring it back to our homes and sit on our food and water. And if you consume such food or water, you can get cholera and other diseases, and your general health situation could even suffer.
He has now constructed this small mud structure, a latrine which he uses with his family of 5. This kind of latrines are found in more than 90% of homes here at Ketiu, even though there are a few public toilets. The community members say the latrines are quite simple to construct and come with benefits.
I have 2 wives and 5 children. We all use this latrine. Other people who have no toilet in their homes come to use ours. Imagine defecating in this open place. You are squatting there naked and someone happens to be passing by. It is too embarrassing. They also spread diseases, so the latrines are very important.
We construct this toilet because when we go out, we don't know where to hide and make our toilet there. So we decided to construct this toilet to help us. I'm advising those who do not have toilets that they should try to construct some because you have sickness on them dropping all the toilet around.
We do have sickness here because of the toilet. So that's why we benefit the toilet because of the sickness here.
So these are not your everyday toilets like the ones we use in the city. They are very small makeshift structures that the people here at Ketiu use, to attend nature's call. And basically, they are doing this because they don't want to spread diseases. And the chief of the town has set up a task force that is educating the people to make sure that a lot more of these structures are built to ensure that diseases don't spread, and also to encourage people to build more toilets. The paramount chief of the area, Per Ayekode Zanguio Atoge IV, plays an important role in ensuring that Ketiu becomes an open defecation-free community.
Defecating around was very bad. People used to free themselves anywhere, especially open places, which we were having a lot of problems with that because due to the lack of access to an enclosed place. That was the whole situation we're having. But I think of late things are getting better and we've seen a lot of improvement.
He has set up a task force charged with the responsibility of sensitizing community members to put up latrines in their homes.
Actually, the biggest problem is always the materials that they need to construct this toilet in their homes. What I usually do is for all the task force also that they go help, especially with the labor. Working sometimes I have to provide the pickaxe and the shovel. Then they will go and then help dig, hole everything. Sometimes move bricks here. We use bricks because of due to lack of some finance.
Linus Dampari and Thomas Zanguio are 2 of 13 members of this task force.
When this program started 5 months ago, then till now, we've experienced that a lot of diseases have started stopping. And at the same time, in the olden days, how much we experienced cholera and diarrhea and all those things, now I can say 75% of those sicknesses are being reduced in the community. So because through this, we know that this program has surely helped in the community.
Within KTU, we formed 5 membership of elders who went back to their communities and then had assistance, and then they went to the bureaus.
Now, if you're one of those who feel stressed out after using the public transport system, there's research to explain your situation. Apparently, it has been established that all it takes is just 20 minutes of your commuting for your nerves to go into overdrive. The research conducted adds that most commuters who depend on public transport as a result suffer different levels of stress, more especially because of the hazards that come with navigating the public transport system. Now, though the research was conducted in Canada, where the commuting experience can be said to be relatively more pleasant, psychologists say it very much applies to the commuting public in Ghana and propose ways to deal with that stress. Zarina Mande has more in this report.
If you do not own a car, then you certainly fall in this category. For almost all categories of people in big towns and cities, public transport is the sole means of commuting to and fro daily. Commuters in this block have one thing in common: the hassle which comes with patronizing public transport. Queues, bumpy rides, rickety vehicles, and in some cases, angry drivers and conductors are just a few of the factors that could lead to stress among commuters. Akuhefron is a clinical psychologist.
So many things contribute to a person feeling stressed, especially when using public transport. Okay? In the sense that, let's take a gentleman who is wearing a white shirt, enters the church. Next to you is a child. Somebody carrying a child. The child is probably eating something and then touches your shirt. That alone is messy. You know, the person would have messed you up already. So you get stressed out. Depending on your temperament, you may decide to react or not.
Some passengers share their experiences.
Most of the car vehicle seats are not comfortable because they adjust the seats and they try to create more seats so that they can get more money, and due to that, when you sit in the car, your legs are so tight you are not even able to move it till you get down at your destination, which makes it so stressful.
This man commutes daily from Awoshi to his workplace at Kwame Nkrumah Circle and vents his frustration bottled up for years.
When you take the trotro from here, before you reach home, me like instance, I stay at Awoshi. Sometimes I can take like 1 hour, 30 minutes or 2 hours to reach home, due to the traffic situation.
So how does it make you feel sitting in the trotro for about 2 hours?
It's too bad. Sometimes you feel the heat, you can't do anything. And some of the drivers too try to dodge the traffic and those things. So sometimes it makes you feel so bad. You can't get air, can't breathe.
Yes, there are less stressful alternatives, but that depends on your pocket.
Choice affordable? Yes, it's affordable for everybody. So probably if I'm on budget, a young boy like me, you know, I want to, you know, budget myself properly so I don't go broke.
What impact can this have on productivity? Akuhefron again.
The roads may be bad. You being in the rickety vehicle, first and foremost, the road being bad, you'd get to the office and you're already tired, your bones are weak. And that alone may even reduce your level of productivity at work.
The next time you stop that vehicle, bear in mind that if you cannot control the exposure, you definitely can minimize the effects. Zarina Amandi for Joy News.
Thank you very much for watching. Have a great evening too, and keep safe because of the rains out there.
is Joy News Prime.